Hello, good people. Welcome to our show. Hello, bad people. Welcome. Hello, anyone who wanna learn more about SEO. Welcome. Today, it's very important to update what you have because your old SEO might not work. We know that many things are coming. We have new updates. We have AI search. And today, you need to find a way how to adapt, how to adjust your strategy to win at any environment. It doesn't matter. It's Google, ChatGPT, or any other place. You need to find a way how to increase your authority because it's a ranking factor at any environment. I'm so excited to discuss this topic with Tony Peacock. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, Anatoly. Good to see you again. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, of course, a big pleasure. We had
Yeah.
this conversation. I know about your experience. I know that you pay extra attention to link building. So I'm so excited to learn more about that because I know how it's important to have right backlinks to put forward, any project. And according to some data, for example, we got this leak from Perplexity. Perplexity is using the same algorithm that Google has with by ranking with authority, trust, and if you don't have authority, you can't get ranked on Perplexity, ChatGPT, Google. It doesn't matter. You still need backlinks. Tony, before we start, just tell more about yourself, experience, background, and anything that can help our listeners to learn more about you.
Well, I started LinkDaddy as a brand in 2000 and I think it was 2020, and I've just stuck with it. I don't really do anything else. Like, we don't do on-page SEO. We really just create backlinks for our customers, and it's been a really good business. Last year was a bit tough, I must admit. Because the US economy, took a bit of a dive, and then of course there was all these, Google algorithm updates, and then of course AI launched, and then every man and his dog is suddenly a backlink expert, and but I've just kept doing what I'm doing, and I've been developing some technology, which I'm excited to talk to you about.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay. I love technology. I have my technology. I can share with you my technology. So
Yeah.
basically, no, when we decided to build our SEO tools, we didn't build these tools because of to sell them. We built them because we didn't have enough automation with existing tools. So basically, everyone can use Ahrefs, SEMrush, SERanking, many other well-known tools, but using all these data driven tools, you still need to have third-party tools. So basically, if you open Ahrefs, you get data, you need to convert to suitable format, to delegate tasks to someone else, to use other tools to create content, and it's time consuming. So basically, we decided to build our tool, and in our tool, you can make website audit for entire URLs. Then in this website audit, you can analyze scoring for your meta text, title, description. It's very important to get CTR. It's not only about ranking. You need to have traffic. And most tools like SEMrush, Ahrefs, they usually show short titles, long titles, missing, duplicated, but they don't score these titles. And for one specific project, we rewrote all meta tags. That was weight loss niche in the US. Competition is huge. All competitors were billion-dollar brands. But what we did, we rewrote all meta tags, and this project increased traffic from 100K to 200K for a month just to optimizing this meta tags, because all titles were written for the sake of having them. That is why we decided to create this tool that can score meta text and tell, okay, you have the CTR. It scores from 0 to 100. The second thing what we did, in all tools, you need to download report to convert to suitable format, but with our tool, you can share by link. So because it's not one person can work with the project, we need copywriters, editors, developers, designers, many people. And with our tool, you can share by link all report. Anyone without account can use our tool, and you can fix everything inside the tool. So basically, you don't need Grammarly, you don't need Google Docs, you don't need anything. You can open specific URL, find problems, use our content editor to analyze grammar mistakes, readability, user experience, many things, and you can do inside one tool. So we decided to create this automation because we couldn't find the same automation. That is why we have it. So I'm excited to learn more about your technology.
What's the name of your tool?
youunmiss.com. You can see on the screen behind below my name.
Oh, it's unmiss.com.
Yeah.
That's the tool. That's really interesting because, LinkDaddy as a website is kind of like a self-service website for people wanting backlinks.
Mm-hmm. I know. Yeah.
And, I would often get people writing to me saying, hey, look, I want to order the Cloud Authority backlinks that you have, but I'm not sure what keywords. Mm-hmm. And so I would go to Perplexity and I would put in their website and I would say, look, I need one main keyword and 6 supporting keywords for this URL. What would you recommend? And so Perplexity would come back to me and say, you need this keyword, and so on. And then I would send that to the client. And then I got the idea that I need to create a strategy. Okay. And that just sent me down a huge rabbit hole. So I started with Perplexity. Basically Perplexity would analyze their website. And then I was adding some data, but there's an upload limit. Like if you want to upload files, you can only upload so many files to Perplexity. Same with ChatGPT. I think it's like 10 files is the maximum, right? So essentially what I've done now is I've actually built a proprietary system where I download files from Ahrefs. So the backlinks, the organic keywords, the anchor text, the competitors, I think that's, maybe traffic or something else. The same with SEMrush, obviously the keyword gaps between the competitors. Mm-hmm. I've got a Google keyword planner account, so I'm then downloading all of the keywords with actual traffic. I'm using Google page speed insights and Screaming Frog. And so what I'm now doing is I actually create a backlink strategy, and there's 2 strategies. There's a quick win strategy, and then there's a long-term strategy. And what I realized is tools like Ahrefs, SEMrush, they just give raw data. Like, here's how many backlinks you have. Here's how many organic keywords you have. Here's your competitors. And what? So what I realized is people don't understand what to do with that information. And so I've built a system which passes all of that data, deduplicates it all, puts it into one complete data set, analyzes all the anchor text and shows them, hey, you're over optimized for exact match keywords, and we need to dilute that with branded and naked URL and LSI anchor text. Or all the backlinks are going to your homepage and you've got no links going to your service pages. And so these reports are like 40, 50 pages long, and it's also analyzing all of their on page. Like every single page is analyzed by Screaming Frog and tells them what's wrong with their metadata and which pages they need to optimize. And the quick win strategy includes 2 things: traffic theft and low-hanging fruit. So traffic theft means that for a particular phrase, Google is showing websites because these websites are not optimized for that phrase, but Google doesn't have any other website it can show, so it shows these particular websites, and that phrase is getting traffic. So if you then optimize for that keyword, you will undoubtedly, basically end up ranking for that phrase and then stealing that traffic, you see, because
Yeah.
there is a website like optimized for that particular keyword. And then, of course, low-hanging fruit is when you're on page 2, when you just need some backlinks to get onto page 1. So, I've developed it so for my own customers, it's all LinkDaddy branding, but for an agency, I'm creating white label reports. And so they're now able to go and show their client, hey, here's a strategy for 6 months. And the thing that I realized is most people are doing what I call hope SEO. Well, I'll just order this, $69 backlink campaign, and hopefully I'll be on page 1 by tomorrow. Well, that doesn't work. You actually have to have a strategy, and there needs to be a natural progression of links coming in, not just to the home page, but also across the website. And you also need to balance out the anchor text. Otherwise, you create an over-optimization, and most people are impatient, so they're generally over-optimized, and their website starts to go down, and then they blame the backlinking company. But actually, it's not the fault of the backlinker, it's the fact that they were over-optimized, and that's created, the penalty, basically. So I see a question here, Tony. If I'm just starting with a new website, where's the easiest place to begin with backlinks without getting overwhelmed? Well, it depends.
I know how you can reply to this question.
Yeah, it depends really on what type of website that you have. If you're a local business, then the thing that you'll want to do is you want to get local citations and business listings to you, because you need to have some kind of foundation. And then if you are going to have backlinks coming in, you need to be making sure that the anchor text is like naked URL. That means that wherever there's a blog, the linking back to your website, the thing that's clickable needs to be your website name or your brand, or like click here, go there, check this out, like generic anchor text. If you start building backlinks to your website using exact match or what we call money keywords, that's not going to look natural. So hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah. I think it's better to start with LinkDaddy. Just open website and try the service.
Well, I didn't want to plug LinkDaddy, but obviously we get a lot of people who have a brand new website, and so the best thing to do is to have kind of like a foundation, and you want to have some generic anchor text.
Yeah.
So that means that all blogs linking back to the website on the home page are going to be click here, go there, check this out, visit this website, see what these guys have to say, this type of thing.
I can say only one thing about link building. If you wanna become successful on that, you need to learn first before using any service, before using any tools, to spend some time, because I found that it's better when you get some skills, knowledge, by reading how-to guides, case studies, watch videos on YouTube, ask on ChatGPT. I remember when I decided to start my PR campaign. So basically, we paid $6,000 for one press release. A lot of money. That was a very competitive niche, but the main goal was to write 12 press releases a week. $72,000. It's a lot of money. I didn't have this money, but I had this task. And what I did, I started to learn. I started to read everything about PR. I read like plus 1,000 articles about digital PR, how to do it PR, which tools to use. I watched a bunch of videos. I don't remember how many, a lot of videos. So endless videos. Then I started to write myself. I wrote like I don't remember how many, but a lot of press releases, plus 100 press releases. I distributed all of them. I got 0 backlinks, 0 mentions for around 3 months. I kept writing, but nothing. After 3 months, I got first very small backlink. That was promise. And after 6 months, we got average results. After 9 months, we got CNN, Forbes, Business Insider, many other big publications. Because of experience, I made my hands dirty. I failed a lot, but I learned through experience. So anyway, if you want to start, you need to understand how it works. When you understand how it works, when you have skills, try tools that you like more. For example, you can use LinkedIn, you can use other tools. Just find tools that you like more, and test them. In link building, it's important to find the right tools, because you can't test with bad backlinks. What do you think about that?
Yeah, no, it's true. I think it just depends on the business owner, because what tends to happen is that, a guy's got a website, and then he can literally go down the rabbit hole, and instead of running his business and concentrating on sales, he's spending too much time with SEO and backlinks and on-page SEO, and and it can get quite confusing. And then you're watching this video and that video, and you're buying this course. And so it really depends on what type of business that you're in, and because there's only 24 hours in a day. So
I agree. But even
it's
if you
good to have some,
even if you hire someone, you need to understand the basics.
you need to have some understanding. A lot of people don't even know what a backlink is. And my simple explanation is that if you've got a website, Anatoly, that's about say tourism in the Ukraine or something, I don't know, and I've got a travel blog, and I'm saying, so if you want to tour the Ukraine and see some good places, check out this website. Now, when I link to your website, I'm actually linking back to you, hence the term backlink, because I'm linking back to you. So, and the other thing that you need to know is a website is like a backlink is like a vote. So when Google looks at your website and it sees that you have links coming in, it takes that into consideration, because the number one ranking factor is the number of unique referring domains linking back to your website. But if they're relevant, that's even better. So spammy links are where you're getting a link back to your website, but they're not really relevant. It's a backlink, but it actually has nothing to do with the relevance of your site. And so this is called a spammy backlink. So they're not so helpful, but there's no point disavowing them. This is what Google has said. What you're better off doing is just creating more and more niche relevant backlinks. And that's how you solve the problem. If you start disavowing it, that actually creates problems. Can do, according to Google anyway.
Got it. Tony, you mentioned that you can combine reports from Ahrefs, SEMrush, well-known tools. And my main question, do we need to have subscriptions to these tools, or combine everything?
No, I've got the subscriptions.
Okay.
I mean, I am charging $4.97 for these reports, because it is hours and hours of work. And of course, the tools cost me money. So to download stuff, that costs money. So, but the reason why I'm creating this is because most people don't know what to do, and SEO is a long game. If you're impatient, buy pay-per-click. You get immediate traffic. It doesn't mean you're going to convert that traffic, but at least you're going to get traffic to your website more or less instantly. But if you want to build up long-term organic traffic, then of course you need to do SEO. So, but you need to have a strategy. Because, if you go to Fiverr and buy this because it was $25, and then you can be buying rubbish. And that can sometimes cause more problems than it helps, you know what I mean? And of course, you're disillusioned because you listen to a podcast like this and they say, oh, yeah, you need backlinks. So you go to Fiverr and you give some guy $50 and he does something and you're not sure what he did. Well, you know, I believe the next evolution of link building is not just selling a person a backlink. It's actually providing them with a strategy and the reasons why. You know, like, here's the reason why you need to build backlinks to this service page, or here's the reason why you need to, dilute some of that, that exact match anchor text because your traffic's going down. You've been penalized. So by actually analyzing all of this data and actually giving people a strategy, like, this is something that most agencies don't provide. What they're doing is they're charging the client $2,500 or whatever a month, and they send them a nice PDF report from SEMrush. The client gets it. He sees how many backlinks he's got. He sees he's ranking in these positions, but he can't make a decision based on that. And all he says is, well, why aren't I ranking for this keyword, or why aren't I ranking? And of course, the agency doesn't know themselves, you see. So what I'm doing is I'm taking all of that data and I'm using AI to analyze all of that data and then to say, well, hey, here's a strategy. So, I'm not, I don't have 150 IQ, but the AI does. And so the other thing I like about AI is it's impartial. You know what I mean? It doesn't do drugs. It doesn't drink alcohol. It's not seeing a prostitute. It's not making, it doesn't have all of these human errors that, if you go to an agency, you don't know if the guy on Friday night's doing lines of coke. You know what I mean? Because he's making all of this money, charging $2,500 a month. You don't know what he's doing. But, a lot of the times they're just outsourcing that work to some guys in India who are doing blog comments, and they're charging $2,500 for that. So anyway, my opinion is the future of link building is to actually provide a strategy and to educate people and to show them what the data actually means.
Yeah, and you mentioned about block comments. Is it still a strategy? Someone still use block commenting today?
Yeah. I mean, I see it when I'm analyzing a website. They've got these spammy links on, crap sites.
Yeah, the last time that I considered the strategy, probably over 10 years ago. At that time, we used the strategy that worked, but when most WordPress plugins started to change these backlinks from do follow to no follow, even then we still used for a while, but we got that it doesn't bring any results. I mean, like, it didn't bring. So we stopped doing this because Google is smart to recognize links from blog content. I mean, like, it doesn't work. I don't know.
It's got to be a contextual backlink. So when you're getting a blog comment, often these blog comments, there's actually no content, or there's very little content, and yet there's 500 or 1,000 or 2,000 or 10,000 blog comments. Well, that's a spammy backlink. There's no relevance there. But when you've got an article which has unique images, it's a 2,000 word article or something like that, and it's completely relevant. Like, if you're a tree lopping business, and here's this article about tree lopping, and it's talking about tree lopping in your location, because maybe you're in Austin, Texas or something. It's talking about tree lopping in Austin, Texas, and it's got, unique images, and there's a Google map embedded and maybe a video. Well, that is a niche relevant backlink. That's a contextual backlink. So that's what Google is looking for.
Yeah.
But all these blog comments, they're just kind of spammy.
Yeah. Okay, Tony, I have my final question, because this episode is short and we got better engagement with short episodes. So, I just want to satisfy the intent of our audience, target audience. But I want to ask forecast about the future. your prediction, what will be with link building? Because SEO is a long game. You need to be patient, and results take time. And when someone is going to invest money to link building, they don't know the impact, they don't know if they get results. And Google can change the game, ChatGPT can become a bigger thing than we have today, Perplexity, I don't know. So probably links will not play the same role that we have today. What do you think about this prediction? I mean, like your prediction, if backlinks will be a thing like in 5-10 years, and yeah, anything about that?
I don't think backlinks are going to go away, because this is the fundamental basic of what Google's built on. I mean, even AIs are linking to a website. I think branding is really important. Promoting your brand and creating really, really good content. And I think also understanding who your customer is and then creating content that's actually real, not just not content that's created by an AI. You can use AI, but you need to nuke all the AI words. You really need to really understand the psychology, and then really basically when you're creating blogs, you need to, like if you've got a blog for your website, then you need to really create content as if you were actually talking to somebody. And what's going to end up happening is Google's going to see that. And if it answers people's questions, then you may end up in the AI overview, and that's going to get you a lot of extra additional traffic. But of course, generally speaking, a local business owner is not an expert in writing content, or doesn't have the time or the inclination, because if he's out in the hot sun all day working on a roof, probably the last thing he wants to do is come home and sit in front of the computer and then write an article that's 2,000 word long about how to know when your roof needs repairing or something. So then he just pays someone to do that.
Yeah.
But what's the future of backlinking? I mean, it could be that in the future we're all wearing, special sunglasses, and we just say, who's my local plumber? And boom, it's just coming up on our sunglasses. And now we're talking to the guy straight away. We're not even on a computer, and we're not even doing any research. So who knows what the future is? I don't know. Like, the technology is moving so fast. I don't know exactly. But
We need to enjoy the time that we have,
Exactly.
I'm enjoying my time, and
now it still exists. And I think all that technology, like just saying, hey, Siri, or like, having a personal assistant, like maybe my assistant's Anatoly, and I say, Anatoly, look, I'm driving around right now in Johannesburg, and I'm looking for an Italian restaurant where there's actually a real Italian actually cooking the best pasta, and they need to be open right now. And boom, my personal assistant is now scanning the internet, and boom, it comes back and says, oh, you need to go to this restaurant. And then it sets the driving directions, and then it drives the car, and I just can sit back and relax and smoke a cigar. I mean, that's probably the future. But that's a long way away, I think.
But basically I failed many times with my prediction, and when I forecast from American president to many other things, I always fail, always. But I enjoy my time, whatever happens, we need to adapt, to adjust. And marketers on TV, radio didn't lose their job. They adapted to digital. So if AI search, virtual reality, I don't know. So we need to go where customers' attention will go as well. So if customers will go to AI search, okay, we can adapt to the AI search, and traffic from ChatGPT can convert much better than traffic
you have
from
to
Google.
understand that we know about things like ChatGPT Anthropic and Manus and Grok and, Perplexity and all these tools. But there's a lot of people out there that don't even know what an AI is. They don't even know what ChatGPT is, and they're still going to Google and they're doing a search, on their phone or or on their, old Windows computer or something, So, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Tony, it's a
anyway,
big pleasure. It's a big pleasure to
cheers,
get on
mate.
my show
So,
again.
and your tool is Unmiss, right?
Yeah.
That's in the thing. Okay, I'm going to go check it out because I might be able to use that in my reports.
I can share a report. By the way, I decided during our podcast to check your website with my tool. And to be honest, domain health 65 is very rarely. I mean, like, most websites have below 50, but you have 65. And your social graph, great. Speed, awesome. Amazing. You have amazing page speed insights. So, yeah, it's better to pay attention to some meta tags. And the main difference with all other tools, I mean, like, you can fix everything inside the tool. So you have tips on the right side, everything what you need to do just to learn how to do it better. For example, let's fix here. For someone who can listen this podcast, I'm fixing title on LinkedIn. Let's date.
I mean, obviously, you'll just improve. I'd still need to go in and make that edit, though, right?
Yeah, basically, you can learn tips on the right side, and you can improve meta tags inside the tool. So you don't need to download report. You can fix everything. And if you wanna share this report with, let's imagine you have
like a
content
technical
managers, you can just copy the link, and for example, I can send you this report. You can use it. So you can delegate this task with someone else. And one more thing, what you can do, you can, if you want to improve any URL, so you don't need third-party tools like Google Docs, like Grammarly, like Hemingway, because you can extract all information inside content editor. And here, for example, I extracted your article. You get grammar parameters, SEO, readability. You can learn headings that you have. You can check out keywords that you have. Text, hard written, easy, medium. So if you click hard, you can find these sentences to rewrite, for example, like here. Yeah, you can check grammar errors, So Black Hat, it thinks that it's better to separate them. But yeah, Grammarly, it's right. If you have another context, you can ignore, but you can check out if wanna use like that, you can replace. So basically, you don't need Grammarly. You can do everything inside the tool. And you can analyze Google top results. For example, SEO link building. You can analyze Google top. You can steal their headings from top results. You can steal their keywords to put in your content editor. So basically you can work in one tool. And if you want to share with your copywriter, you can share by email or just copy the link. For example, I can share with you on private chat. If you need some, let's imagine you like this heading, just copy, put in your content editor, you can work here. If you need some, for example, you want to improve this paragraph, just choose text, click, for example, expand. It can improve with GPT-5, all this information. So basically, you don't need ChatGPT. You can work inside the tool, and all this data is saving in reports and documents. So basically, look at. So you check all websites, you have all this data, and you have all documents. And yeah, you can save all reports, you can save all documents, and many other things. For example, in report, if I open LinkedIn again, So you can check many other insights like page speed optimization, meta tags. For example, let me show you schema, images, speed, keywords. By the way, why you have such good, excellent speed? It's not often. No, what you did, I don't know. But it's amazing.
Yeah, no, we're using, I think it's Flying Press, I think it's called, and Cloudflare.
Okay, wow. It's not often. Probably first time in my experience when I can get 100%. So, but yeah, basically it's the tool where you can optimize and create better content, for your website, and yeah, and you don't need third-party tools.
Right. So this is okay. So this is this more a tool for on-page SEO?
Yeah. Everything for on-page SEO, not about link building.
Right.
Is the tool that can help web developers. Most tools, for example, if you use page speed insights from Google, it can show for one specific URL, but our tool can analyze all URLs on your website. If you have 10,000 URLs, you can know which URLs have low score for page speed insights. So you don't need to check 10,000 times.
Right.
You can measure your meta text, title, description, because if the score is low, it means you can get less traffic, because you need to give a strong reason for people to click your content. We created our ranking by learning studies from Moz, HubSpot, many others about how to optimize. So we analyze all words that you have, we combine them and score. And the best thing, you can do everything inside the tool without leaving the tool. You can fix inside the tool. You can share with others this audit, to save your time. You don't need to download, upload, to send by email. Just share the link. That's it, So it's our automation. Yeah. If you can leave me any feedback, will be great.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, is there any other questions or?
No, tell my audience the best way how to keep learning from you, how to reach out to you, how to follow you.
Okay, well, the website is linkdaddy.com. And my email is tony@linkdaddy.com. So if you want me to have a look at your website and tell you, what you need to do to get sort of things moving with your website, then email me or visit the website. Yeah.
Awesome. Guys, you can find all links in the description below. Listen us on Apple, Google, Spotify, and see you next time.
Thanks, Anatoly.